students, good morning. So today we are going to study about something new, okay? And I hope that it will be interesting for you too, okay? So can we start our topic? Okay. So have you all been on a cycle? Have you? Okay. Have you used it also, or you have used it with somebody else? Okay. And how does a cycle, how could I say, how does a cycle moves? Have you seen its wheels? Have you, Raghav? Have you seen its wheel? Okay. How does it move? Like this. है ना? Like this. Yeah. Anyone else whose cycles wheel move like this or something else? No? Saloni है ना? All of us, our cycles move in this manner, है ना? The cycle always moves in a manner like this, in a circular form, right? Okay. And if I tell you that water also moves like a cycle, can you believe me? Will you believe me or not? Sandhya, do you believe me if I will say that just like a cycle on which we move, on which we go to the park, go to the shop, है ना? In the same manner like a cycle move, water also moves. Okay. All of you guys are little confused right now, but today what we are going to study is this only. What we are going to study is water cycle, on which we move is the normal cycle, and we are going to study about water cycle, okay? So let me write first. Water cycle. Okay? So let me take some examples and then we'll continue this topic. So, have you seen your mother warming water for you? Does she do that? Okay, she does that, right? So, have you ever noticed that after a point, after when your mom keep the utensil on a burner on the gas to make it warm. After for a few minutes, it takes few minutes to get warm, and after warming, our water starts what? देखा है कभी आपने? उबलने लगता है. What do we call it in English? It started boiling. It starts boiling, right? So our mother put that utensil on the gas. It starts warming first and then boiling, right? After boiling, what does happen over there? What happens over there? After boiling, what happens over there? So, today in the class, we cannot have a gas in the class, but we can take example of something else, okay? So, let me spill this much of water on the floor, okay? So, let's assume, now give me the water bottle, Ragini, and I spill some of the few drops of water on the floor, okay? So, as it's it's summer this time, so obviously fans are gonna be on. After few minutes, what are we going to observe? That the water that we spilled on the floor is गायब को क्या बोलते हैं? मतलब वो गायब हो रहा है, right? Is evaporating. It's going somewhere else. We don't know about, right? So in the same way, when your mother put the utensil with the water on the gas, the water first warms, then it starts boiling, and after boiling, if you will observe the water, the quantity of water, you will observe that it is reducing. Why is it so? Because that water, the water in the utensil is changing into what? Into, आपने उससे उठता हुआ देखा होगा धुआं, है ना, गर्म चीजों में से धुआं उठता है, राइट? तो वो जो धुआं है उसी को हम वेपर बोलते हैं, राइट? सो when we provide heat to the water, it transform into what? Into steam, into vapor, right? So firstly we read that it is a spill of water. Okay, अच्छा आपने देखा होगा, your mummy also put those clothes on the rope, and in the evening or in the noon she she goes to, उतारने जाती है उन कपड़ों को. कब उतारती है? गीले उतार लेती है कपड़ों को? नहीं ना, सूख जाते हैं कपड़े, राइट? तो where does that, वो जो पानी था सारा हमारे गीले कपड़ों में, वो कहाँ गया? Because of the energy from the sun, the heat energy that we are getting, उस heat energy के कारण हमारा भी पानी जो कपड़ों में था वो पहले हीट हुआ, वार्म हुआ, वो उसने भी बॉईल किया होगा, and then it starts evaporating. तो जब भी हमारा जो पानी है, ये है पानी, ओके? और जब ये पानी चेंज होने लग जाएगा, when it starts changing into steam, okay? So when it starts changing into steam, this is the process that we call as evaporation. Now after evaporation what will happen? देखो हर जगह, when we spill water on the floor, when we put some utensil, we make tea, we make what do we make? We boil water, right? We put our wet clothes on the rope so that they can also, they can also be dry, right? So how many people are there in the world? Millions of people are doing this. So much of water is evaporating on the daily basis. So where does this evaporation, जो ये water है जो evaporate हो रहा है, वो जा कहाँ रहा है? Where does it go? It goes high up in the sky, right? So ये सारा water वहाँ पे जा रहा है, okay? So after let's take example, okay? So what example can we take? हाँ जी, all of you, you are in the school right now, right? So how many of you brought your lunch? Many of you, yeah, most of you, yeah, all of us bring our lunch. I have also brought my lunch, right? So in the recess time, in the recess period, when we open our lunch boxes, I hope so many of you have observed this, okay? Let me guess, what have you observed? See, I'm a magician, I know it. So when you open your lunch box, you must have observed a few drops of water on its cap, on the cap of your lunch box, right? Have you observed it? Are we going to check it right now? Okay. So, Kriti, please open your lunch box. Yummy food you have brought, huh? So, can you see a few drops of water? No, why? Oh, she has bring a packet of biscuit and all these things. Okay, that's fine. If somebody has cooked food in their lunch and they can show us. Okay. Yes, please, Sonu, please open your lunch. You have bring roti and sabzi. Okay, fine. See, there are drops of water, right? Why is it so? It is because when your mama put the warm rotis in the tiffin, the warm sabzi in the tiffin, the hot, है ना? So that hotness, that the water in that transforms into the vapor, and that vapor is going upwards, okay? But what your mama did? Your mama put the tiffin ka box, your mama closed it. So when vapor was going upwards, it hit by a surface and it stick there. Okay. In the same way, when we spill water on the floor, that water gets firstly evaporated, then those vapors goes high up in the sky, right? So there is a limit over there. Okay. At a point of time, there is a layer जहाँ पे warmth नहीं होगी, जहाँ पे ठंडी होगी, इससे ज्यादा टेम्परेचर लो होगा. क्या होगा वहां पे? The whole vapor that is going over there will gonna condense. Condense means सारा वाटर ड्रॉपलेट वहां जाके जमा होने लग जाएगा. ओके. सारा वाटर जैसे हमारे टिफिन पे जमा हो गया, क्योंकि मम्मी ने वहां पे लिमिट कर दिया, वहां पे एक लेयर लगा दी. अगर मम्मा टिफिन का बॉक्स नहीं लगाती तो वो वाटर वेपर भी ऊपर जाता. ओके. So all these water vapor goes high up in the sky. Let me draw sky over here. So let's say all the water vapor goes high up in the sky and condenses, जमा हो जाता है. इसी प्रोसेस को जो हमारा वाटर वेपर कंडेंस हो रहा है जाके वहां पे वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स की फॉर्म में जमा हो रहा है वहां पे जाके, इसी को हम कहते हैं कंडेंसेशन. ओके. So water पहले change हुआ water vapor में, that is called as evaporation, and then that vapor goes high up in the sky and condenses into the form of water droplets, and this is known as condensation. So after condensation, what happens? After condensation, so let's say you have a geometry box. Okay. You have put one pencil in it, one scale, one rubber, one sharpener, then 2-3 toffees for munching. Put another pencil, put another pen, a sharpener more, one more eraser. But can you put so much of this? Can you put all your friends' pencil, rubber, sharpener in your geometry box? No, na? It can hold only, थोड़ा सा hold कर सकता है जितनी उसकी क्षमता है, जितनी उसकी कैपेसिटी है. It can hold that much only that it is capable of, right? In the same way, when water vapor is going upwards, it condenses over there in the form of water droplets. So water droplets are going there and it condenses and it condenses and it condenses, and after condensation, when we have this much of cloud, okay, so let's say this is its capacity, it cannot hold any more droplet of water. So when this stage comes, when it cannot hold any more water, it showers all the water. It bursts out and all the water falls down. And what do we say this? We call it as precipitation. Okay? So firstly, water changes into water vapor, evaporation. Then those vapors goes high up in the sky, condenses in the form of water droplets. We call it as condensation. And then after condensation, all those water droplets shower down in the form of the precipitation. Now, a precipitation ke baad, where does that water goes? That water goes in the, tell me please. In the river, in the oceans, in the lakes. Will it go underground also? Yeah, wherever there is not cemented kind of a road, where there is space to go into the ground, it will go underground also, है ना? So, after precipitation is rain, right? So, after it rains, all the water that is on our ground, what will happen with that water? Just like we spilled water right here in our class, in the same way, God has spilled so much of water on the ground. So what will happen with that water? Yes, very good, Saloni. Yeah, with the help of sun's energy, that water is going to change into vapor. And what do we call this? Evaporation. Very good. And then, Raghav, what will happen? Yes, that vapor will be going to high up in the sky and will condense in the form of water droplets. And what do we call it as, Tanya? Condensation. Very good. And after that, what is going to happen? It will be going to fall down in the form of rain. That we are going to say as precipitation. So as we can see, फिर से precipitation हुआ, फिर से सारा पानी फैल गया, फिर से पानी evaporate होगा, evaporate हो रहा है, फिर condensation हो रहा है, precipitation हो रहा है, evaporation हो रहा है, condensation हो रहा है, precipitation हो रहा है. It is repeating, है ना? बार बार. It is repeating itself again and again. That's why we call it as a cycle. And what is going high up in the sky? What is coming down? What is that? Is it a plant? Is it a soil? Or is it a water? It is water. Okay. So what is moving in the form of a cyclic form? Water. That's why we call this as water cycle. I hope it is clear to you all. We are going to get some more examples that we can see around ourselves. Okay. But for right now, we are stopping it here. Okay. Whatever your problems are, you can share it with me. And then I can clear your doubts in the next class. Okay. So let's bye for now. Bye. Thank you.